Alrighty then, testing. Hello to you people. Mine Bill has the questionable honor of writing the first comment on this channel. Congratulations, I might say. Let's see if I can get everything set up here. This is going to be pretty much just a test stream. I mean, we might as well do some fun game development during this stream, but this is really just a does everything work sort of deal. But regardless, welcome everyone. Let's see what's actually happening here. Notifications are working correctly. They are, yeah. If you're talking about the Discord notification, it's working correctly finally. Let's see. I need to do one thing here. Yeah, so on the Discord server, we've had some issues previously. Oh right, I should get this. Sorry, I'm super distracted here by all kinds of things. Let's get the visual out of the way there. So here's a beautiful little Discord server, and you can see, like, initially stuff used to work. It was a long time ago. I'm using this bot called Sapphire. Sapphire used to be able to ping people. Wow, I've been streaming a lot, haven't I? Sapphire used to be able to ping people. Alright, it appeared everyone, but then at some point I added the proper notification role. Just because I didn't want everyone to be pinged. And then it kind of stopped working for a bit, and then it worked again, and then it stopped working, and then I've been just adding that notification there. Yeah, I can't actually find any places where it is pinging now, but yeah, you can see, hey, it does the pinging. How cool is that? I probably just need to, like, redo the stuff there in the Sapphire dashboard to get it to ping properly for the videos as well. Anyway, welcome everyone to this rather unplanned stream. We do indeed have a new YouTube channel for the live streams, because I got kind of annoyed at people leaving whenever I live streamed from the main channel. So I figured, hey, let's just make another channel, and then people can decide whether they want to get notifications for videos or if they want to get notifications for live streams, and that way everyone's happy. Isn't that wonderful? So it's probably gonna be a bit slower on these streams, at least, you know, in the beginning. Because we have, what do we have? 24 subscribers. Does YouTube not really allow you to turn off notifications for live streams? I don't think it does. No. No, how would you do that? How would you do that? Like, the notification settings on YouTube are kind of awful, regardless of if you're talking about live streams or videos, right? You just sort of, let's go to YouTube. Right. Like the notification set. Yeah, let's not do craziness with audio here. Right, I'm actually myself here now, so this is kind of a bad example, I guess. But like, if you just go to any one of these random Linus Tech Tips, whatever, and then into one of these videos here, we're not really gonna watch any of that. But like, if you subscribe, then you hit the bell icon. That's kind of what you get, right? You don't really get anything else besides that. So I don't know. Maybe the Creator Studio would allow you to notify people. I don't think so. I don't think they do. No. No. I can also show you, maybe, if I know how to do that. Let's go to Sapphire. And, up. Blip. Where's my Sapphire dashboard? It looks strange. Okay, well, it's probably not super interesting actually, but like on the Sapphire dashboard, I was also not able to have it send, you know, a video notification for videos and a live stream notification for live streams. That's not a thing you can do in Sapphire, which kind of tells me that the API towards the YouTube stuff is kind of limited, right? Now that I have two different channels, I can set that up, and maybe I can finally make this video notification work as well. I just need to like essentially like redo the whole thing for these video things. Anyway, it solves some problems, hopefully. And hopefully it makes people happier. That they don't get notified for every single live stream when they're not particularly interested in those. Anyway, so far this is looking pretty good, and we have the new channel whitelisted here on the Epidemic Sound website as well. Oh, I'm breaking the music here with my fiddling. I'm breaking the music with my fiddling. But that's probably fine. Okay. Anyway, so what are we gonna do today? I was thinking I would do a little bit of I would actually play the game a little bit. That's not something that we've done a whole lot on stream. The reason I am going to play the game a little bit is this thing here. I had a conversation with someone today on the let's call them out and give them some credit here. Because it was a good discussion, right? I'm not throwing anyone on the bus. Someone called Int from Pointer on the Zig Discord about targets and things like that when you're building Zig code on Windows. And so I added a little bit of, alright, we need to make that a const. Then we can build the game. So I added a little bit of debug output here to my build script. And it turns out I've actually been using the GNU ABI for Traction Point all along, even though I'm on Windows. I haven't verified this, but I think this might be one reason why we had that issue with those int bools or booleans producing garbage. Like undoing my workaround for that is a little bit of work, so I haven't done that yet. But basically what you want to do is, especially if you're targeting Visual C++, as I am doing for the rest of the engine, you want to set the ABI to be MSVC, obviously. And so yeah, I added this check here basically, and then we print again. We print the ABI, which is now MSVC, the OS, and the triple. The triple being what is it? It's architecture, ABI, and OS. I think architecture, OS, and ABI. I think that's the order. It's called triple, Zig triple. I don't exactly actually know all that much about this stuff, but anyway, you get sort of the holy trinity of what you're actually building here. So now we're building with MSVC, and based on my quick tests, seems to work pretty well. We're gonna actually just play this though a little bit and see what actually happens here. Let's turn off the music for a little bit while we're watching the beautiful intro sequence. This is something that you can play, by the way, today. This is part of Pre-Alpha 3. Pre-Alpha 3 is out. You can play Pre-Alpha 3 right now by going to the Discord and either downloading a zip with the game, or if you'd like, you can get a Steam playtest key from over there, which will allow you to take part in all of the playtests, the current ones and the upcoming ones. And we're just going to make sure that we can actually play through the demo mission here. It's not like a terrible spoiler. This level has been seen many times over the years in these streams, and it can actually be played through in just like a whole bunch of different ways. So we're just going to play through one of those ways, right? And make sure it actually works, and there are no like weirdnesses happening because of this MSVC ABI that I haven't been using, but I really should have been using all along. And I'm not exactly sure how long the stream is going to be. Probably like an hour or something. Or like an hour from now. Maybe a little more. We'll see. But after we've played through this mission, I figured we would basically continue where we left off last time. Oh, let's say, by the way, I got a Steam key from the bot, but I was on mobile, so by the time I opened the Steam mobile app to redeem the code, the bot deleted the message and I didn't get the key. Oh. Oh no. DM me on Discord and I'll send you one. If the bot is misbehaving, then by all means, you should have a key. Alright, so we don't have any music right now, so let's just put the music back on. Yeah, just DM me on Discord and that'll be my reminder to send you a key. We don't have a whole lot of volume here. Let's maybe turn up the volume a little bit. So this is kind of just like a sanity check. Sanity check playthrough to make sure that we don't get any like weird crashes or anything like that. Oh no, the power is down. How will we ever get in? So drive around a little bit. See what the place looks like. Yeah, I expect the streams will be a little calmer for a bit until people find out about the new channel. But that's just something that we're gonna have to live with. And I suspect I will be streaming quite a lot, you know, in the upcoming weeks and months, maybe even, because I need to work on the game, and this is a pretty nice way to work on the game. Not like do a whole lot of really complicated work, but I also have quite a lot of content work coming up. Actually, just like a whole shitload of content work actually coming up. That's a big smoke pillar. It is indeed. Where is our dear old mother? She's behind that cliff there. So which way should we go to get into the lift station? There are at least like 4 different ways to get in there. Maybe we'll do it the one of the like official ways here. Ask mother to come to us. And we'll actually ask her to drive up here. Camera. So yeah, the smokestack is blocking the way. Whatever will we do about it? Oh. I'm looking at my other monitor here, driving into things. Bonk. Yeah, so this is a dynamic object. I'm gonna lower the music a little bit. There we go. This is a dynamic object, as you might be able to see. We can sort of nudge it, but it kind of doesn't really want to move. So what will we do about that then? Well, we can of course just lift it out of the way with the mother, or we can just lift our vehicle onto the other side of it. I think we're gonna go with the lifting the thing this time around. Mother still doesn't have sounds. I actually have the sound assets. I've received them from my audio designer a few weeks ago already. I've just been so super busy with all kinds of things really that I haven't gotten around to implementing them yet. That's something. Oh, we can also yeah, that's also one thing you can do. You can sort of just like nudge this thing out of place with the mother. But let's use the cargo crane to lift this thing out of the way. How about that? And it's actually pretty heavy. So you can actually like flip this entire vehicle with this if you're not careful. Of course, we don't have any like damage, vehicle damage or anything like that, so we don't really have to worry too much. Okay, thank you, mother. Now we can get into the base. If we don't drive into a tree. And if we're smart about it, we do a few things here inside of the refinery while we are here. So yes, this is a power cell dispenser, just like Stellar says. You can actually use this thing to create a power cell. Bonk. You can only get one though. As you can hear, the thing unfortunately breaks after you get one. So we only have one, and we don't have a gripper yet. But I'm gonna be a little bit smart about this and try to nudge this thing into the monorail if I can manage it. It's gonna be a little tricky actually. I think we can. perhaps manage it. That way we don't have to come back with the gripper later on. And of course you don't actually need to go here. Oh no, no, no. Don't go down there. No. Okay. Well. Oh, damn. Now I'm kind of putting myself in a bad position here. Well, let's ask Mother to come here, and we can use Mother to actually get that out of there. Later. Mother, move here. I don't think I can get over there. Okay, you need to move like a slightly further away from the nook there. Nook and cranny. No? Still no. Sure thing. Okay. Yeah, we can leave that there. We're gonna come back for it later. It'll take a little while for Mother to actually reach that place. That's fine. In the meantime, let's go and open the gates. So, oh, we're actually running in D3D11 mode here. Yeah, okay. I think I switched the graphics API to D3D11 at some point. I switched it back. Well, that's also a good thing that I haven't run it in D3D11 mode for a bit. So it's good to test that it actually runs and looks correct. So that's neat. Rightio. Yeah, we're getting a steady stream of subscribers. That's nice. So far, I haven't really encountered anyone who has been like super opposed to the idea of having to subscribe to one more channel to get these things. So that's nice. That was kind of something I was a little worried about. That like, are people just gonna be disappointed in this thing? I think this is the right choice for this particular situation. Okay, so here we have the power station. Right, we need something to lift the power cells. Let's jump over. Bonk. There's an unfinished house that I really need to model at some point. And here we have our gripper. Yeah, the dialogue doesn't really keep up here with me, since I know where everything is. The dialogue will need and will get a sort of an overhaul kind of soonish, I think. I think it's pretty evident that I'm not gonna have voice acting, at least in the initial release of this game, so I was thinking I would do sort of like a Celeste style, or what is it called, the game that my kids play all the time, Animal Crossing style, sort of like gibberish voices. Just loaded in the back of the truck there. And we can lift this one thing into place. Actually, let's ask the scout to come to us, because we will need the scout later on. Or we don't actually need it, but it's pretty nice to drive around the world with the scout. So we need 3 of these things, as you can see there from the receptacle count. Just put this here. Blonk. gate is opening. How cool is that? Okay, Scout, come to me. I was about to ask about voice acting. Yeah, so my plan originally was to do voice acting. Unfortunately, it kind of looks like I may have lost my narrative designer. So I have a few guys that I occasionally use as freelancers for this project. I have a music guy who is actually my very good friend, and he does music. So he's done almost all the music. I've written things like the logo startup sound, things like that. I've written myself, but like the actual music he does. And I also have an audio designer now, which is actually a really new. I don't really know the guy, even though we've worked on some games before without even realizing it together. Really big productions. And so he does some things for me now, and that's nice. And then I have this other ex-colleague who I've worked with on significantly larger games, who's done some narrative design for the game, but it kind of looks like I've kind of lost him, unfortunately. Very sad about that. It doesn't look like he really has time for this. And so the narrative side has been in a little bit of a limbo for about a year now. And I have some other leads for narrative designers. I'm not a very good writer myself, so I don't think I'm really gonna... Well, I might, and I probably actually will. I probably will write some of the dialogue myself. All of the dialogue currently in the game is written by me, but you can probably tell that it's not super good. I wonder if I could actually lift that with the gravity crane. I don't think gravity crane actually can lift a power cell currently. So that's a kind of a tricky place to... Oh yeah, I managed to do it. I managed to do it. Got it out of there. Okay, Scout, let's go. Come on. Let's go to the base. We should really have a follow me radio message. Right now we just have to like spam this move here thing, but you should really have a follow me one. Anyway, so yeah, my plan was originally to have voice acting in the game, but I'm not certain that that I will actually have that. Do you have a specific story you want to do, or if you're still figuring that out? The story is actually something that I've had, you know, like the broad strokes of the story has been figured out for like 5 years already. There is a reason why we are here in this weird world. There's a reason why there are these kind of like warning thingies. What do you call these? Like some sort of like alarm pillars, things that aren't actually textured yet. Oh, there's a reason why there. Yeah, you don't see, we don't have any collisions for that cable there. There's a reason why there aren't really any people around. And why these people have to actually like figure out how to get into this base, because everyone has seemingly disappeared. So, you know, on that level, the story is figured out. But you know, the actual like realization of that story is of course something that kind of needs to be figured out. And this one person who I have worked on this thing before. He did a lot of really good work. I'm really happy I got to work with him at least for a little bit. But it got kind of left half done, and I need probably some help with finishing that. But luckily, like I said, I have some leads, but it kind of needs to be figured out a little bit. All right, so we have 2 power cells now, and one empty one there in the back, but that's not gonna help us. Switch the camera around a little bit. There we go. 1 more power cell in the bank, says Rowan. Thank you, Rowan. Let's drop these things off here. I don't want those things. I think for the last one, we're quite simply just going to use this vehicle here and go find it. So it can be in one of 3 different places. There's the confusing cave of insufficient light map resolutions. This is the cave of insufficient light map resolutions. You can actually see, alright, here's one. Here's one, okay, yeah, we can grab that. And maybe we'll actually leave it at that. And if you guys want to play this thing, then you're gonna have to figure out where those other places are, because when you play it, there might not be a power cell there in that place. Hey, Xluxy, and hey, 25th. Welcome to the new channel. And this kind of unplanned for test stream. Yeah, we're playing through the demo today because I figured out some new build flags for my Zig code, thanks to some helpful souls on the Zig Discord, and I want to just kind of make sure that stuff isn't completely broken, right? So so that would be that. Okay, let's see. I just need to bring that down a little bit. Boom, there we go. 1 more power cell in the bank. Isn't that cool? Yeah, we have some like sounds that are missing and things like that. Like there should be some sort of like visual cues here, hints for the player that okay, the elevator actually kind of is working now. Of course, now we can just gather our vehicles at the elevator as the objective says. Let's move the mother here. And oh, you're just gonna drive there, okay? No, okay, you're gonna make a reverse turn. Oh, not mother. Damn it. Damn it, not mother. Mother is supposed to be... Whoa. This thing is kind of slidey. Mother is supposed to go in here. And then scout. Where's the scout? Scout is right there. Let's bring the scout over. Oh, I stuck on some trees or whatever. What's going on here? Kinda looks like you are, yeah. Let's see. So far it seems to be working. Also, the only note I think you should know about is the vehicle interaction sounds with the crane and dropping items feel like hear nothing. Yeah, there are a lot of sounds actually missing from the game still. Like for example, the mother itself, I just mentioned here before you joined that the mother doesn't have any sounds. And so, yeah, lots of sounds still need to be figured out. Well, the scout is now kind of in the way here, so that makes the mother vehicle confused. I just kind of drove over it. Okay then. That's fun. Yeah, you only really have impact sounds for the cars. And, you know, you can sort of hear some clunk when you drive over things. And you also have these, like, sliding sounds, like that. But yeah, lots of sounds still missing, absolutely. But luckily I have this, this audio designer these days. Let's go up here. Let's see. So here's one place where there might be... Okay, so now we don't actually have... Here's this mysterious tunnel entrance. Very mysterious. But here's one place where there might be a power cell. Now there wasn't one. But there's yet another place where there might be. So it's sort of like semi-random what you can and what you need to do here to play through this thing. Yeah, the objective is really just to like enter the elevator now and drive down it. I'm just like checking out some of these spaces here, making sure everything works. And this level will also need to get a little bit of overhaul. Like these cliffs here aren't really like the correct art style anymore. I've sort of moved away from from this art style for the cliffs. These don't really look like cliffs. I'm sure you agree. I need to make a little bit of a change to how they are modeled, and like particularly this edge here, it looks kind of strange here. The depot level, the one with the quarry and everything, let's go have a drive through that next. That doesn't have the scripted mission yet, but it has the environment is pretty far along. Yeah, I only need to make like a small change to these to bring them to the new sort of final art style I want for the cliffs. And it should be all good. And yeah, we have some unfinished buildings here, like I already mentioned. Right, yeah, so we can't actually call it's kind of like maybe a little illogical. We can't call this truck over the radio. We can call the scout from the truck. It's probably something that needs to be looked at a little bit as well. Yeah, okay. Move here. Also, mother, move further into the thing. You need to have all of your vehicles in here. Scout, move here. There we go. Start the elevator. Start the elevator. We can ride the elevator up and look at the view. And yeah, again, the elevator doesn't have any sounds. And then there's a mysterious voice on the radio. Dun dun dun. Anyway, that's a demo. Let's go into the depot level. Right here. And so these are kind of like, this is what I want the cliffs to look like, sort of. I'm not talking about texturing here necessarily, I'm more talking about the shape. This whole area obviously looks like a little different from the previous one. But oh yeah, this is more like I want the cliffs to look kind of like this. So we're gonna have to do something about those cliffs in the demo level as well. Rip. Let's see. I never checked. Is this a single player or multiplayer game? At least the transitions work. Not sure I know which transitions you're talking about, but to answer your questions, this is a single player game. And the single player is everything I'm promising you guys. So there's going to be a story campaign, and there is going to be a sandbox, and at least for the 1.0 version they are both going to be single player. However, let's make this slightly smaller. I can see something here. Main menu. Look at this. Hide multiplayer button is true. What do you think happens if we make this false and then we rebuild the game? I haven't actually tested this for a while, so it might be that everything just like absolutely breaks apart. Look at that, we have a multiplayer button. If we click this, we get to this horrible looking built-in debug UI thingy here. Oh, and I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. We're planning to go snowboarding with the whole family 2 days from now, so we're figuring some things out here. I promised I would answer the phone if my wife calls. Anyway, yeah, so we enable this multiplayer button here, and multiplayer button takes us into this horrible looking little menu. Probably can't create an internet game. If we do, then yeah, we're not gonna... Things are not gonna go well. So let's not even try to do that. But if we create a LAN game... Oh, 25th needs to go. Take care. See you next time. We go into this horrible looking built-in menu. And here, from here we can, for example, let's just go into Depot. And now we are actually playing a multiplayer game. I want to be very clear that I'm not shipping this at least as part of the 1.0 version. It looks exactly the same. It should, in theory, play exactly the same. The only thing is that you can't of course pause it. So the game just keeps running if you try to pause it here. Oh, Marcus is also going snowboarding. Yeah, it is. It's a week here in Finland where kids are on leave from school, and it's basically like sports leave, hiihtoloma in Finnish, and it's typically when folks go away on like skiing trips and things like that. Let's just, at least from one of these instances, mute them. Right. So let's see if this actually works. This is probably gonna just absolutely blow up in my face here, but this is the kind of stream we're looking at today. So let's do a multiplayer game here. Create a LAN game. Sure. Players game. Let's try to join a game here. So it's finding the available games. It finds the game there on the server, and we have player. Hello. And we can see the thing there. This guy is the server. That's why they have a start button. So again, let's do depot and start. And now we are spawning here underneath the world. None of the players have any vehicles. But maybe we can give some vehicles to our players here. So let's spawn like a gripper truck there. Here we go. We set that as the avatar, and actually it creates a command. There's also something that I was talking about on the Discord. It actually creates this kind of set avatar command. So if we get copy the clipboard name for this guy, and then we run a similar command here. So game state, yes, set avatar. Need to put it in quotes, and then number 2 is the host ID for the second player. And if we run that, the guy still doesn't get it. Oh, the server connection has been lost. Oh no. It's because I blocked the freaking... It's because I blocked the process here with this. Yeah, you want to be careful with that. Hey Tutu, welcome to the new channel. Let's try that again. Okay, everything just broke. Well, I told you that was going to happen, really. So... I told you that was going to happen. Let's try this again. So here again we have the server here. Create, join. There we go. We go to the depot. Click start. I'm gonna have to be careful now to not actually block the processes here. So obviously, if you were making a multiplayer game, you would have nice sort of facilities to do all of this from within the game itself. Okay, that's bugging out a little bit here now. And I'm getting the IM GUI overlay. Oh no. Yeah, okay. I don't know what's happening. My world is crumbling around me. Let's add a gripper truck here now. Hello. How do I get rid of the IM GUI overlay thingy? Oh, there we go. It's Control Tab apparently. Come on. Okay, so this guy. Hello. There we go. Set as avatar. Can we drive around with this guy now without the thing breaking? We can. Okay, look at that. Multiplayer. Multiplayer action. Yeah, I need to disable this thing. This is like the most annoying thing ever. This actually came up at work at the company I'm working for. We didn't even know that this was a thing. That like IM GUI has this weird sort of like well, I only have this one I only have this one item here now, but you can actually like toggle the and highlight the different, you know, pieces of IM GUI you have going. Anyway, let's do the copying of this guy again. And now we can see if we paste it here, look at that. Now we have multiplayer action going here. And then we can do something utterly silly, like this. I'm gonna use a gamepad here and see what happens. We can try to lift up that other vehicle, just the other player. If you're wondering what we're doing, by the way, we're just testing random parts of the game here to make sure they don't actually break. And of course, this multiplayer thing is just breaking all over the place because it's not really officially supported and it's not really going to ship, at least in the first version of the game. Look at that. You can lift up the other player and drive around with them. There's nothing they can do about it. You can just drive this thing. I wanna go. Let me go. And yeah, this thing was something that 25th was asking. Do we have multiplayer? Well, we kind of do, as you can see, we kind of do. But I'm not promising anything because like it's not really robust enough on the technical side to actually make like a shippable multiplayer game. And so I'm not gonna attempt that, at least in the beginning. Tutu asked, what happens if you throw it over the cliff? Well, the thing is, if you weren't aware, you can't actually, there's a blocker here. Because you're not really supposed to throw anything over the cliff. But if you're wondering what happens if you kind of kill one of the players, I think the system should handle it. I think there's a kill plane down there. And it probably just... I don't know, actually. What happens if we... Yeah. Oh, let's see. Can we... Whoa! You see the... I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit here. Because it's completely impossible to drive like this. Let's bring the thing into the back. Oh, is that the furthest back we can actually get it? Looks like it is. I don't think I can fit through the tunnel like this. Yeah, the poor server player there is just having to deal with this shenanigans. Maybe I can actually fit. Yeah, I can fit through here. That's no problem. It's no problem at all. Oh. Oh. Can I get up? Can I get up? Can I get up? Come on. Come on. Get up. Get up, you lazy bastard. Okay, we're gonna try to use the old box explosion to get it up. You just spawn a box crate here. Oh, you can't spawn it on that guy because that's not the server. The server needs to be the one spawning things. We're gonna have to do it on this machine here. What? There we go. Okay, now we can spawn something here. Debug crate. Boom! Box explosion. The old trusty box explosion. Okay. So. Oh yeah, Unstickify probably would have worked as well. You're quite right. Unstickify probably would have pulled it in a way where it would have just worked. But you can also do box explosions. Okay, so I'm gonna try to drop this guy into the abyss now. Oh, we're not seeing what happens here on this side because we have free camera on. Oh. This thing is like driving on its 2 front wheels. And all the 4 rear wheels are in the air, so it's a little difficult to drive. But it manages. So the way I'm gonna do this now, I'm gonna drive here, and then I'm just gonna delete that cliff. Because why not? Why not just delete that cliff? Again, I'm gonna have to do it on the server. Otherwise it won't work. If I can get a free camera going. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. And then destroy. Bye-bye. Oh, we have a piece of terrain underneath it. That's unfortunate. Can we destroy that one? Is that a... Yeah. Look at this. This is where we can drop the guy into the abyss. Success. Let's just drive. Let's just drive around that thing and see if we can actually reach it. And we can see what happens. So my theory here, which I want to test out, is I'm pretty sure I have a kill plane. A kill plane is sort of like it's a flat plane. It's not a physical thing. Sorry, it's not a visual thing. It's just only a physical thing. So it's a flat plane that you just put in the level and tell the system at which height you want it. And the kill plane, even though it's called a kill plane, you can decide if it actually should destroy the game object or not. And it can destroy it, or it can quite simply act as a physics blocker. And I'm pretty sure I have it set to destroy the thing here. And so now the question is, what happens if player 1's avatar object is destroyed? I don't think anything should happen really, but it's also possible that it will just, you know, break apart the planets of the universe. I can't get up there. Let's destroy that one as well. Yeah. Bye-bye, monorail. That's what happens when you're in the way. Alright. This is the most retarded way of playing this game, I know. Can't be helped. Okay, get up. Just lift it into the back again. At least it kind of behaves like a vehicle if you do that. You can see the light map here from the monorail track. All right, so terrain ends here, and yeah, we're outside of the. We're outside of the light probe. You can see the light probe's kind of just like turning off for all of the individual pieces there. Okay, so let's sacrifice this guy to the what is happening? Okay, it is working. Sacrifice this guy now to the gods of Ragnarok. Bye-bye. Oh, no. That's not it. I need to... Oh, shit. Let go. So, the thing is falling down. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the thing was just destroyed. Yeah, it was just destroyed. Nothing broke. There we have the world. And there we have the vehicle. We have a mother vehicle here though, so let's just add that or set that as the avatar for ourselves. So, yeah. That's that. And here we enter the good graces of the light probes. You can see light probes are very dark here. But, like, of course, that is because in reality we would be inside of the mountain here. Inside of the rock. That's why it's almost like pure black. And then when we drive out into the actual level again, it kind of gets a more realistic lighting going. No auto reset. Oh, you mean like if your game object is destroyed, then you would get a new one? Is that what you mean? And of course, there's like there's literally no multiplayer gameplay implemented at all. Like, yes, you can do this. You can play around with a few players. It should technically work for, you know, more than 2 players as well. But, like, of course, nothing is implemented here properly. So you know, it's going to be funky. Driving over you. Yeah, you can just absolutely, you can sacrifice yourself even just from the debug menu, right? You can sacrifice this guy, ploops, and you can see that it like correctly identifies that, oh, okay, the avatar object went away, so you lose like the HUD here, for example. And we can even sacrifice ourselves here, and we lose the HUD again, and you just switch to free camera, and stuff still works. You know, for some definition of works. Yeah, so that's multiplayer for, you know, 25th who left some time ago. It kind of works, but then it breaks in spectacular ways when you least expect it. So, yeah, we won't be shipping with multiplayer. But it does work, at least on some level. What about the gravity thing? Do you mean the gravity crane? Can you lift remote players with it? The gravity crane doesn't lift very heavy things. Let's get the name of this guy. Name. Right, so this is the gravity crane. This thing here, that sci-fi looking crane thingy. Of course, I can't spawn anything on that. Yeah. If you're wondering, like, why can't I spawn on this guy? This guy is the client, and this is the server. Well, they both have a client, but this one on the left has a server, so we can spawn things with it. Right. Spawn a few of these guys here. Burp. And if we use the gravity crane, we can see that it only lifts certain kinds of objects. Or well, it kind of like affects every object, but it lifts objects that have a small enough mass, right? So you can't actually lift a vehicle with that. What we can do, though, is we can lift a vehicle with a cargo crane. And that should just work. That should work just fine. So let's back up here. Boom. Hello, little one. Yeah, you can see a little bit of jittering there with the crane, but yeah, you can lift other players with this. You can move this further back like that, and then you can switch to the driver. Then you can drive around with your poor player friend there at the back, just flying around like a bouncing ball. And it almost like lifts the front wheels into the air. So this kind of thing works. But yeah, it's like by design the gravity crane doesn't lift very heavy things. However, you can lift just like a whole pile of them. You can lift a whole pile of like smaller crates or whatever. And then this cargo crane you can lift almost essentially like however heavy object you can find in the world. Of course, like then it kind of naturally just like becomes problematic to lift other things. Like you can, if you spawn another mother vehicle here, you could lift, or at least like connect to that other mother vehicle and like move it around. That is possible. Yoink. But this is kind of cool. I haven't seen any other multiplayer games actually do this kind of thing with like a physically simulated cable and things like this. Of course, I'm not saying that this would work on the larger internet today, but and you can see it's a little jittery, but still kind of works. That's nice. Then we can drop the thing to the ground. Bye bye. I'm gonna select this guy and then we can play again here. You bastard. All right. Oh, how does the cable rendering work? Kind of curious. It's just a mesh. It's a dynamic mesh. It's a dynamic mesh. I have a bunch of live streams from like way back in the day covering this thing, which you can look at. But I think it's actually only on the server. Yeah. Yeah, we're running the server now on its own thread, which means that we can't. Just shut that down. So if we go to like maybe crane development. Oh, one thing. If we go here to launch, we set server thread to false. So we run the server on the main thread. That way we can debug draw the server things as well. That's better. Okay, so here we go. Here's the server physics rendering, and so this thing is sort of made up of individual small individual rigid bodies, which you can probably see here, kind of strung together almost like a like a string of sausages. I'm hoping they kind of come through on YouTube. Those red capsules there, right? And then what we do is we take their position, all of their positions, and we generate a cubic Bezier curve which runs through all of the positions. And from that cubic Bezier curve we generate a mesh. So if we go have a look here at like really close, you can see that it is just tessellated. You can see sort of a yeah, it's kind of jittering around a little bit until the physics settles. So here's like some vertices, and here are some vertices, and there are some vertices. And then if we move this thing, you can see it's sort of like moving almost like a snake. This thing. Because it's continuously just like creating, tessellating the visual mesh. Sausage crane, yeah, absolutely. And actually the sausages are kind of like they're moved up and down like this. Let's see if we can get the camera, the free camera even better positioned to show this off. This is something that I should make a bit better. But if you ever wonder why the thing is kind of like jittering a little bit, it's because like when you move the thing up, when you spool it in, when you retract the cable, it kind of moves one of those sausages up until it reaches the highest point that I have specified, at which point it actually removes that sausage and connects the crane arm to the next sausage. That's why it kind of like jitters a little bit when you do that. And same thing when we move down, it actually adds more of those sausages. Until you have, I think 50 is the highest count that we have currently. Yeah, there you can see it kind of almost moves like a snake on the visual side. But yeah, this all of this stuff is actually covered pretty substantially in some of the earlier streams and videos. Don't remember which one now, though, unfortunately. And I should mention on the main channel, because now we are of course not on the main channel, we're on the live stream channel. Okay, good. No catastrophic failures today. Not that I really was, counting on that. I was almost a little bit shocked when I realized that I've been using the GNU ABI this whole time. I always thought that it defaulted to MSVC on Windows, but evidently not. Now we are, though. Nothing really has broken. Everything is working. I'll find them. I'll have a look tomorrow. It is possible that it is. Let's have a look here. If we go to let's go to Madrigal Games. So if we go here to the main channel and we click here, we go to these transmissions. So transmissions was the thing that I was doing before I started doing live streams, really. They're kind of like live streams, but they're like recorded beforehand. I think you want to start looking at this transmission 12 cargo crane status update. And then continue with this fun with the bit packing in Zig. I'm gonna keep the volume down now, but this had some interesting things with how the crane worked. Yeah, you can see here that we don't have any rendering yet, and everything looks very crude. But the idea is the same. I'm sure I'm explaining something very, very interesting here. But yeah, here you can see the same thing, and I think this is about around the time I was developing this. So yeah, 2.5 years ago. Jesus, time flies. Fortunately, the game looks better than this these days, but it's still not out yet, so I'm not sure if I should count that as a win or not. But yeah, I think this is transmission 13 is where I cover this this cable, right? So there's a bit of a cheat for you there to find it. All right, how are we doing with the channel? 28 subscribers. Oh, 29. Just got one more. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, people are clearly not finding this to be a catastrophe that I decided to create a new channel. That's nice. Let's see here. Okay, coolio. Yeah, let's fix at least like one more of those hot reload thingies today. I don't know how many of you were with me yesterday. Or was it? No, it was 2 days ago when I streamed. The stream ended kind of in a weird spot because I found a new bug that I had created just a few days ago, actually. I was kind of worried it would have been a Zig bug that was introduced as part of the Zig upgrade, but actually it wasn't. It was a classical game engine initialization order bug. It came about because of something I did for the actual hot reload itself. But basically what happened was all of the Zig components propagated values were left out. No, not the bool thing. The bool thing was a separate thing, a separate stream actually. The problem I had in the last stream was that I added, as a very last thing, I added this mother here into this this layer here called toggle feature test, and this mother is scriptable. Actually, a couple of its components are scriptable. We have the AI brain, which you can use to like order it around, and then we also have this toggle feature, which we can toggle things on and off. So self, what does this actually look like? I don't remember anymore. Teleport game object, set cargo crane enabled and set gravity crane enabled. Yes, that was the thing that I was thinking about. So let's add here a function. Yeah, and the bug was that we didn't have these buttons here, for example, and we didn't have any of these checkboxes, things like that. All of the exposed properties for the components that are created in Zig, they were missing. So we can do, for example, cargo crane on function like that, and then we do self set cargo crane enabled true and false off, and then we do the same thing with the gravity one, right? Gravity like this. Should be able to build that. We can't. Oh. No matching symbol. Set cargo crane enabled. Aha. Oh, do we have another bug here then? That's unfortunate. Set cargo crane enabled. Yeah, that looks good. That looks correct. Oh, cargo gravity. Okay. Yeah, that. Set cargo gravity enabled. That's not good. There we go. Okay, good. I'm just making a fool of myself here. And then we need to load this entire level. So let's put here on the base layer a script here that loads the... So let's make another dev function here. Dev void toggle feature test. Load layer. That's the layer name. If you make a function be a dev function, it just means that when you play the actual level, you can run it from here. Toggle feature test spawns in the mother right above us. Here we go. So now we can do, we can do cargo gravity, and those things are still kind of silly. Let's fix that. So gravity crane off. Gravity crane, right? Not cargo gravity. Like so, and then we run this toggle feature test. There's our mother. And now, gravity crane off. Cargo crane off. You can quite simply just enable and disable certain features of these objects, depending on how you have set them up. And my belief here is that if we do a hot reload, and then we try to enable or disable something, the game is going to crash. And that is what I was planning on fixing last time around, but I didn't get around to it because I had that exposed property bug. So let's fix that today. Toggle feature test. So like gravity crane off, for example, and then we do a hot reload, and then we try to turn it back on. And boom, here we go. That's not good. Where is the call stack? It's right here. Run queued dev script calls. Execute. Execute. Yeah, this is actually an Angel script crash, which is interesting. We're not actually even in Zig code here. So let's have a look at what actually happens. If we go to toggle feature component, we have a few propagated values, and they have their handlers created here. So that's something that we need to fix. But even before that, we have some other stuff that breaks. Angel script function pointer. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, because this is probably actually what fails. You know, this thing. I need to add this to my list. Where's my list here? That's not it. It is code hot reloading. Let's add here to the list. Fix up all the Angel script callbacks, which are function pointers. So this is a really tricky case because this has propagated values that has callbacks, but it also has these kinds of callbacks. You know, when you call set cargo crane enabled, calls this set cargo crane enabled function, which then goes and actually sets the normal public facing one. Oh. Now the reason this could be a little tricky is because you can't just hook this up, you know, whenever. You need to actually hook it using this kind of like component registration thing. What I'm thinking though is this is called from somewhere, and I think like eventually this call comes from C++. So create host, register script types. Yep. Yeah, here. So host SIG application registers SIG app library script types in the basis host. And then it goes in here and it calls into the SIG side. Now we're on the SIG side. So I think basically what we need to do is we need to call this again. But what we really want to do here is we don't want to register the type again, I think. I think we only want to register these functions. This is not actually what I was planning on fixing today, but it's kind of good that these issues come up because they need to be fixed. So I'm thinking that we'll probably want to have some sort of like, you know, hot reload bool function here, like this, and then, you know, if not hot reload, then you would do this thing. Like that, but you would always do these things. Component registration int pointer. That comes from the C++ side, I'm sure. It's that one. Registration, SIG Angel script component registration. Yeah, we don't have the code for that here, but we can have it here in the Visual Studio instead. Let's see, what is the function that we're calling? Register component method. It's that thing. So my worry here is that, okay, we're registering it here. What happens if we register it again? Will AngelScript go like, you already have a function pointer here for this method? Or what's going to happen? Is it going to allow us to just override it? Or not? So this quite quickly actually became an AngelScript question. Let's see. How does AngelScript work in this regard? Let's grab that, and we're going to search for... I'm just going to do star.star. Register object method. So this became really interesting all of a sudden. Okay, we're getting it through just like all kinds of things. Let's do .h and .cpp. Maybe that would give us a slightly better thing. So what do we have? Determine. Let's make this not blind everyone. Where are my settings here? Where are my settings at? Tools, settings. Here we go. Style. let's do Monokai. Oh no, did I not save it? Same and close. It's not really true dark mode, but it's at least it's better than it was. Alright, so if object is 0, then we get an error. That's understandable. Determine the object type. Register object method. Config error, okay. Don't allow application to modify primitives or handles. Don't allow application to modify built-in types or funcdefs. Register method to object type. Okay. So is there like an unregister? Because that could be kind of handy. Register object method. I don't think there's an unregistration. You register an object type and then you register all of the properties and methods and interfaces and whatnot. Yeah. Unreg is not a thing here. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it goes through here. So we started here. We looked through some, like, if we're gonna throw some errors. And then we go to this method here, or this function. No, it's a method actually. And then we look through some more config errors. This identical one is in blah blah blah. If the object type is a template, make sure that no generated instances already. Okay. Yeah, so just again it checks for some errors. Is prepared, put the system function in the list of system functions. Check against duplicate methods. Check name conflicts. Name taken. Yeah, this might be an issue. If they don't take into account that you might want to like unregister scripts or re-register rather. Yeah. Let's go to Angel Code and have a look here. The one I'm using is it's kind of old. I haven't updated it in a while. So it is possible that we have some, you know, some new stuff that we could look at. Let's look at GitHub. I think this is just a mirror, really. It's not the official one, but it's the one that I know how to use. So let's do AngelScript. And what is the... Yeah, it's just AngelScript.h. Register object type. Let's look at that. AngelScript include AngelScript.h. Yeah, it looks pretty similar. Do we have any unregistration here? No. No unregistration. Yeah, I probably have to actually investigate this a little bit. Because I'm not sure this can actually be done with the AngelScript API. Right? It might just be something that, like, we have to either sort of work around or then deal with in some other way. But I could also just ask Andreas himself. We've spoken a few times. This guy who actually makes AngelScript. This can be done. So basically what I'd like to do is like re-hook up this this thing to another function. Yeah. Or we can just try to do it. Can we actually... What happens if we just do this twice? Will the game just blow up in my face? What happens if I do this twice? Just like that. Expected 2 arguments, found 1. Probably did something stupid here. Right, I did that. Yes, the hot reload thing. Let's get rid of that. So what I can do here is actually just like, first of all, just see if it just crashes and burns if I do this. If it doesn't crash and burn, then we're gonna set this thing to some bogus function in the beginning. And then set it to the correct one. And then probably switch those around. Okay, yeah, so failed to register component with the declaration, blah, blah, blah. Already registered. So if you're wondering what I'm thinking about doing here, and this is all confusing to you, basically this means that, like, okay, we're hooking this script function, set cargo crane enabled. We're hooking it to this function here, underscore set cargo crane enabled. And when we do a hot reload, this function exists, but it exists at another function. It exists at another address. And so we need to hook it again. You know, with the same name, the exact same thing. We just need to like patch it up. And AngelScript doesn't really seem to be set up to handle that sort of thing. So, one thing that we could maybe do, because I don't think this is necessarily super tricky. We have the function pointer here. It is possible that we could somehow just like patch this in, right? We're going to be working with the exact same function, so the calling convention, things like that are going to be exactly the same, right? And that's global function. That's not the one that we wanted. This is the one we wanted. We see where the function pointer is actually passed. Just passed straight through to this guy. We get it here. Then we detect the calling convention, blah blah blah. Where is it actually going? After that, it's not coming anywhere. What? Yeah, but go back and go forward doesn't really work here, apparently. It's calling object, declaration, and then function pointer. I don't think we're passing any of those. We're leaving just the calling con. Oh, yeah, we're passing the calling convention. That's true. So object pointer, object name, the declaration string, then the function pointer, and then the calling convention. We're passing all of those for sure. Here it is. Object name, declaration, function pointer, and calling convention. And we want to essentially like patch up this guy, which goes here and then goes here, but then it only goes here to detect calling convention. Yeah, we're just going around in circles. See, can we find that guy? Function pointer. Yeah, internal func. There we go. So here's where it actually gets it out, right? That's what I wanted to find. So it does the detect calling convention thingy, and it stores it here in this internal system function interface internal. And this guy has like a func and an auxiliary thingy. So we would need to just like patch that up. Yeah, I think we could maybe just like... We could maybe just like patch it directly. If we're being a little clever about it. Put the system function in the list of system functions. AS script function. And we're not really dealing with the function pointer here anymore. We're just dealing with everything that goes all around, like around that thing. The function pointer is kind of just like along for the ride. So I'm thinking like this script function, sysfunc interface, CS script function, or AS script function actually. Where is that guy? Declared. Yeah, it's like all over the place, really. So let's instead search for this sysfunc inf. So here we have call system function. What was the thing we actually crashed in here? If we go and have a look one more time in. Oh yeah, right, we can't do that. Can't do the double registration. That will fail. Oh, we're still running this thing, that's why it doesn't... Okay. Okay. Now then. Let's bring up the camera. And then do toggleable feature test. Toggle feature test. Gravity crane off. Yeah, call system function. Call system function native. Call system function. It's clearly not that call system function because this guy is huge, isn't it? AS call func 533. Yeah, it's another call system function. But we have the inf thing is right there. And it's right here. Yeah. There we go. Here it is. System function. So here is our pointer, which, you know, is no longer valid. Here's some stuff that we don't even compile in. Call system function native. Yeah. So, you know, if we can patch that thing in, then stuff is going to work. But I'm gonna probably have to figure it out how that is actually to be done, right? I don't know exactly how to do that, and if I don't want to break, I don't want to put AngelScript into a state where it's like in an invalid internal state or anything like that. So this thing is turning out to be a a real challenge to fix this toggle feature business, because this is now the second stream where we actually end in like a slightly confused state with this particular thing. Last time it was the expose properties, and now it's AngelScript. Neither time is really anything with Zig. It's just stuff that prevents Zig from really working. But I'm gonna try to figure that out offline, as they say. And I may have to ask Andreas how he feels we should fix that thing, because it's gonna affect everything that's scripted, really. Well, not everything, but everything that has functions that you call from script and that live in Zig. So all of the scriptable Zig components. It's going to affect those. So we're going to want to get them fixed up. But that is for another time. Thank you to everyone who came to hang out today. This was a pretty chill and nice first stream here on the channel. We got some viewers, we got some views, we got some subscribers during this. So it was nice. Thanks everyone. And yay, we've got even a few more since I last checked. We are at 31 subscribers now, so pretty good start. Anyway, have an excellent rest of your day, and see you next time.